Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I didn't do any recording today, honestly. I just have, my mind has just been, I really had a hard morning. I really did. And in light of the Keke Jabbar untimely passing and learning about that really hit me hard. And although I never met this woman, I really resonated with her story. So first, I want to thank everybody that shared a comment and just really was understanding where I was trying to come from, because I wasn't trying to bash her family that she was on that toxic show with, Love and Marriage Huntsville. But like I said in that previous commentary, that's all I could really think about when it came to her and how they treated her on that show. And I'm honestly just still feeling a way about that. And there's nothing that they will be able to do that will be able to erase the images that I have of how they treated her. All right. So I find some comfort in knowing that she, I believe, is resting in peace and she is in a better place. But I know that her husband and her children, her mother, those other family, and even friends that she had, like real close friends and family, not the ones that we saw her on TV with, really miss her dearly. But they probably were, out of respect for her and even somewhat maybe the show, not really wanting to voice too much because they didn't want to jeopardize the show. They didn't, because sometimes people, they could be treated badly, or they have someone that they really love and adore is treated badly, but they won't turn around and do the same thing to those people that are treating the one that they love badly. So I know they miss her. And I am so sorry, because this woman was a young woman. 42 is young. And here we have these old, decrepit people that are trying to be the president of the United States. And it's like every day you wake up and you wonder, okay, is this going to be the day when we're going to get the news that they're no longer here? Because they're, 81 and 78 years old. Compare and contrast, 42 is so young. That's hella young. But when we're children, when we're in elementary school and we hear about somebody in their 40s passing away, back then you used to think, oh, they're old. That's not old at all. She was a young woman, and I believe that there could have been so much more that she could have achieved and accomplished, but she's no longer here. So I just believe that she is in a better place. She's no longer hurting. She's no longer struggling. And that's what I choose to try to, think of when I think of her. But I wanted to share some comments from some other people because, to be honest with you, it gave me some solace, because I didn't want to be the one. I know there's a lot of people that are sharing commentary about this, but I just didn't want to be the one to speak about her untimely passing and then speak about her cousin and his husband and the mama and mama-in-law of that cousin and her husband and how they treated her on that show. So I just didn't want to go there, because I didn't want to seem like I was being negative, but I just really couldn't help how I was feeling. So you all who left such positive comments and just really understanding where I was coming from, I really appreciate that, because I don't share my thoughts and my commentary for anyone to agree with me. I'm just really sharing my thoughts and feelings on the topics that I care to talk about, just trying my best to be beautifully honest. That's all I'm really trying to do. So it's nice to know that other people understood where I was coming from. I will definitely say that I took some solace in that. But I even take more solace in seeing other people's comments on other platforms that are talking about this, because the Neighborhood Talk shared a post from Latisha. I guess this is from her Facebook account. She says, you know how you fight with your cousin/family and think one day we'll be cool again. Crying emoji. That day is gone. It's not coming. 5 exclamation marks. And then she has all these purple hearts. And we know that purple was Kiki's favorite color. And that's another reason why I resonate with her, because it's not my only favorite color, but it's one of my favorite colors. So to see that post when just the day before you were basically saying, leave me alone, we need respect and privacy, this is a hard time for our family, then I would think that you wouldn't be doing a Facebook post the next day. That's just my personal opinion. That's all I can give is my personal opinion, right? And yeah, I'm judging. I am. I'm judging because the last time that I saw her speak to Kiki was on that last season reunion when she said out of her own mouth that she's done with Kiki and she didn't want to talk to her anymore. She didn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. So that was her cutting her off. Kiki said, I would love to reconnect and I would love, Kiki was always trying to make the effort, but she wanted to keep Tisha honest, and she wasn't trying to drag Tisha's marriage. She wasn't trying to destroy her marriage, like Tisha always talks about. But I want to share some of these comments. All right. And now a comment says, girl, bye. You did what you did and you said what you said, so sit in it. Blood before mud? Not in this case. Tisha drugged Kiki every chance she got and knows what she discussed with her on private about Marceau. That lady never lied about anything she said on that situation, and now live with the fact that you dogged her out and never had any intentions of mending things. R.I.P. Kiki. She was definitely one of the realest on the show, period. Prayers to Kiki's husband, kids, and closest friends and family. That, honestly, that comment right there sums it up for me. Because that's exactly how I feel. 100%. Another one said, you had an opportunity to mend this relationship. You burned that bridge. This pain is going to cut deeper. Another one says, wasted all that time fighting and fussing over nothing. Another one said, her and her husband tried to destroy her on that show. Shaking my head. Sad situation. Another one said, that guilt is eating her up and is going to weigh down on her for quite some time. I truly hope she gives herself grace and heals from the pain of that. Rest peacefully, Kiki. Another one says, Latisha, you've been playing dirty. This is your humbling moment. I pray you learn and do better. Therapy, love. Bless her and... wow. Another comment said, last thing you said on national TV is you don't want a relationship with her. That got to be a messed up feeling, especially knowing Kiki wanted to move on. There we go. That's exactly what I remember. That's what I recall. Another person says, Tisha and husband tried to make Kiki look crazy on national TV, so they need to keep that same energy. I'm sorry, but I agree. I'm not sorry. Why am I saying I'm sorry? I agree with that. Another one says, publicly asking for privacy is wild. Yeah. Another one says, Tisha, you knew that. Go lay with your husband and talk about it since both of y'all constantly exploited her on TV. She been your cousin since day one, not a random BFF. Another person says, shouldn't have said anything. And I can agree with that because, like I said, it's weird that yesterday she put that post out there. We're asking for, in all caps, respect, in all caps, privacy. This is hard for our family. And then the next day, you're putting up a Facebook post. You know how you fight with your cousin/family and think one day we'll be cool again. But that's the thing about it. I can say, because I have a situation with a family member, and you think just because you're blood that makes you close, but people reveal who they are based on things that they do. And I'm not talking about some petty stuff like what Latisha was accusing Kiki of doing or whatever, trying to ruin her marriage by saying that Marcel cheated on her. Who the freak cares? You know what I mean? Like, that was petty to say, I don't want to have nothing to do with her anymore. But other egregious acts, and I'm not going to go into all of it, that type of stuff, it's those types of actions that can cause those relationships to rift. And just because someone is blood does not really make them family. But if they didn't do anything that was just so detrimental that you had to cut them off because they tried to really, like, literally tried to destroy you, either in a sexual manner, in a financial manner, something like that. Not, oh, she told people that my husband cheated on me and he didn't cheat on. Like, girl, that was just so stupid and so petty. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, that type of stuff, it's different. So I would never tell somebody, well, you know, life is short, so you need to make up with that person before, like, that type of stuff. I would never tell somebody just because life is short and you don't, tomorrow isn't promised and you don't know how long somebody's going to be here, that you should try to mend those relationships, because that type of stuff, that is different. Okay. So I don't ever want anybody to feel like just because life is short, if someone has violated you in a sexual manner, in some type of physical manner, a financial, you know, detrimental manner. No, I'm not saying that you should try to reconcile with them, especially when they violated you. That's completely different. This type of stuff is petty, okay? That they went through. And Tisha allowed it to be so overblown, and to the point where I don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. She burned that bridge. Kiki said she was open to trying to make it work, and she has tried. She had tried, I should say. So to say, you know how you fight with your cousin, family, and think one day we'll be cool again. No, not really. Not in that way. Not when you're the one that said, I don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. She never, she was pretty much like Nene. The door is closed. She didn't say, you know, it's, you know, it's a tough time right now. I can't even really talk about it. Maybe someday, blah, blah, blah. No, she was just like, I'm done. Another commenter says, I'm not trying to be funny, but Tisha really didn't like her cousin for real, for real. But that's a discussion people are not ready for yet. And somebody commented, and they said, I saw a cousin who let her cheating husband get between herself and her family. Tisha and Marcel tried to make her look crazy because Tisha didn't like the tea about her husband being spilled over town. Then they brought up her cousin's past drug activities, which she got help for. Those two used to be close. Tisha got too much dip on her chip and switched up on her folks. So her folks switched up on her. She talked about that girl from the moment she stepped on the show. But you know what's really sad? Because if this show even makes it another season, which I really don't believe it deserves to, or that it needs to, but let's just say hypothetically that it did, we already know that those people are going to try to make this a storyline, and that's just disgusting. They need to just leave it alone. The Facebook post honestly was a bit much for me, so they definitely would be out of line trying to make it a storyline when the last time she discussed this young lady, she said that she's done with her. She didn't want to have anything to do with her. But like I said, the crazy thing about it is she chose to not have a relationship with her cousin that she said she used to be really close with, all over her husband, who doesn't respect her in the first place. I've said it, and so many other people have said it over and over again. What woman do you know's husband can come to them, say, baby, I'm depressed. I need a break. I need to head out of the country and go to a whole other continent by myself for 2 weeks. And by the way, I'm not going to have my phone. You might try to get me, and it just ain't going to happen. So I'll see you at baggage claim in 2 weeks. You stay here with these kids because I'm depressed and I need a break. And you are okay with that. And you've never been to whatever country he went to in Africa. crazy. But yet, Keke was the problem because she brought up some stuff that you weren't ready to face. You didn't want to talk about on the show. And now your cousin is gone. No person could sit and try to convince me that she is right in this situation. She really should just not even speak on it. Go to the funeral, pay your respects, share your condolences, cry and shed some tears, do all of that, but leave it off of the internet, and definitely don't try to bring it to the television show. I really am not here for it. I'm not watching this latest season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I was watching some of the clips online, and then I saw that the Instagram blog that I was catching up on clips maybe a few days after the show would air, they're not even going to be showing clips from these reality shows anymore. So I don't know. I'm thinking, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's possible that they probably got a strike from possibly Carlos. Carlos probably found out that people are not watching the show and they're going to the Instagram blog to watch, because it's just, honestly, it's as good as watching the show to just go there and see the clips on Instagram. So it's like, oh, if you want to watch it, then you're going to give me those ratings. You're not going to give it to them. So they got shut down. So they're not going to be showing the clips anymore. And you know what? That's fine, because I'm still not going to be watching the show. But I am so sad still. And this has just been really hard for me. I honestly, I was talking to my mom on the phone about her this morning. My mom doesn't know anything about this show. She doesn't watch these shows. She doesn't know anything about these people. But I was just sharing my thoughts with her about it because she knows, because I spoke briefly about the pain meds thing and how I just never wanted to take pain meds because I knew addiction was in my bloodline. It's, in my family, my dad actually. And I just didn't ever want to get to a place where I felt like I was under the control of something. So I chose to go through the pain and the hurt. And I was just talking to my mom about that situation, about I was just telling her, and I said, you remember, Mom, because times when my husband was overseas working and I had to have surgery and she was there with me, and I would say, remember, I'd say, I don't want to take any pain meds. I might either not get the prescription filled at all, but if I got it filled, I might just take one the day of and maybe one the next day. But then I'd say, Mom, get rid of them. Just, flush them down the toilet or whatever, destroy them. And I was just telling her how angry I was, because even though I don't think that's what took her out, but just the struggle that she had with that situation is what really made me feel for her. And I just started crying. I just broke down because it's just really sad. And I don't believe that ever should have happened. Someone did in the comment section let me know what happened, and I'm not, going to talk about that either, but that's just really sad. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating. But I kind of feel the same way. Somebody made a comment and they said, keep that same energy, because I'm also one of those people that I feel like if you didn't really care for a person before they passed, then don't act like you do when they're no longer here. Because to me, that seems phony. And I'm not saying that you have to get online and bash them and say, you know what, I didn't like them then and I don't like them now. I'm not saying you have to do that, but get off of Facebook with the posts and trying to sound sentimental and deep and all of that, because it's like, girl, you burned that bridge. You burned that bridge. Kiki did not like the match. You did. So now you have to sit in it. And that's just that. And you have to figure out if the man that you chose to cut your cousin off that you were really close with was worth you no longer having a relationship with this woman. And that's just really sad. So those are just my thoughts. I wanted to share some other people's comments and just share a little bit more about how I was feeling. But this one, it hits hard, and I'm really sad about it. not have ever met her, but it doesn't mean that I don't care and that it's just another news story. It isn't to me. And I just really pray for her husband and her children, her mom, you know, any other family members that were like really close to her, genuinely close to her. Seriously. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye. Don't wanna talk, don't wanna see, don't wanna feel,